Hello everyone, we are from Group 3. Today we would like to present our project titled Virtual Screening of Flavonoids Compounds as Potential Inhibitors of DENV2. Next slide please. So here are the table of contents, starting with introduction and followed by the methodology. Moving on to the introduction. So, dengue is one of the most common diseases caused by mosquito-borne viral infection. The dengue virus transmission relies on the vector mosquito, primarily the female mosquito of Aedes aegypti, and less commonly is the Aedes albopictus. So, the number of dengue cases globally have risen dramatically in recent years, from 500,000 cases to 5.2 million in 2019. Dengue is considered as endemic in more than 140 countries around the world, mainly affecting 2.5 billion people in the tropical and subtropical region, including Indonesia. According to WHO, the severity of dengue disease can be categorized into dengue with warning signs, without warning signs, and severe dengue. The criteria of severe dengue are severe plasma linkage, which leads to dengue shock syndrome, severe bleeding, and organ impairment. Next. Dengue virus or DENV is the causative agent of the dengue disease. It belongs to the Favipidae family. It is a single-stranded RNA virus and has envelope protein. DENV consists of 4 serotypes from 1 to 4. A study conducted by Vicente et al. Shows that DENV2 serotype is associated with a severe dengue. The DENV genome encodes 3 structural proteins and 7 non-structural proteins. The structural proteins include the capsid, the precursor membrane, and envelope are the component of the major virus, whereas the non-structural proteins like NS1 to NS5 are not detected in the major virus. So there are several steps involved in the DENV infection cycle, starting with the viral entry, and followed by viral membrane fusion, viral replication, assembly, and maturation. So all of these steps can be potentially be targeted. So in this study, the focus is on the entry of the virus into the host cells. So the entry of the virus into the host cells requires the attachment to the receptors of the host cells, followed by virus fusion with cellular membrane. This activity is mediated by the E protein, which is involved in the receptor binding and fusion. Envelope protein or E protein consists of hydrophobic domain 1, 2, and 3. So from the X-ray structure of E protein, it was found that there is a hydrophobic pocket which can be the target of anti-DENV inhibitors.
Dengue vaccine and treatment. So currently there is specific antiviral drugs for dengue fever infection, but only supportive care are available, including antipyretics, oral hydration, administration of fluid, and transfusion for patients with thrombocytopenia or hemorrhage. And in addition, Vaccine availability for the dengue virus is still a concern as only one approved vaccine is commercially distributed. Next, bioactive compounds. So regardless of the general use of modern medicine around the world, the use of bioactive compounds from plant is cost-effective in production compared to chemically synthesized drug, and it is essential source for discovery and development of novel antiviral drugs as it has low adverse effect and availability in nature. So it is also derived from plants as one of the targeted compounds is phenolic compounds. Next. Several classes of phytochemicals, including phenolics, alkaloids, and terpenoids, are used as antivirals, and it is derived from the secondary metabolites from plants as it characterized by the aromatic rings. It has few properties such as powerful antioxidant properties and then antiviral properties toward dengue virus, with the compounds named gernin, punicalagin, and chebulegic acid. Next.
Next are the flavonoids. Flavonoids are once known as vitamin P, are one of the biggest groups of secondary metabolites found in deeply colored fruits, vegetables, cocoa, tea, and wine. Flavonoids helps regulate cellular activity and fight off free radicals that cause oxidative stress on your body. In simpler terms, they help your body function more efficiently while protecting it against everyday toxins and stressors. Study done by Wang et al. In 2020 stated that they act as an antioxidants that can help protect against chronic diseases. Antioxidants help your body fight off potential harmful molecules that can be introduced to the body. Your body produces antioxidants naturally, but they are also can be found in dark chocolate, legumes, and many fruits and vegetables. There are 6 types of flavonoids: flavonols, flavontriols, flavones, flavonones, isoflavones, and anthocyanins. Next. Now, the question is why use the computational or in silico approach? The major reason is that it can reduce the drug discovery and development process. In addition to that, using computational method aid to the investigation of viral dynamics within the host cells, in which we can analyze the DENV interactions with its natural ligand, in this case host cell receptors, and the data required such as proteins that are related to DENV can be obtained easily nowadays, as well as the 3D structures of the phenolic compounds, which will help clarify its potential. Next. This is the similar in silico studies, like molecular docking and molecular dynamics for identification of potential DENV inhibitors from phytochemicals that have been conducted by Verma et al. In 2014, Kamar et al. In 2017, and Fora et al. In 2019. Next. Here is our objective. It is to find the potential inhibitors of DENV2 from flavonoids compounds by utilizing the computational method. Next.
Okay, with the introduction out of the way, let us move on to the methodology. Next. So our methodology consists of 6 steps, which consists of protein preparation, ligand preparation, QSAR analysis, molecular docking, ADME, and finally, molecular dynamics simulation. Next. Firstly, let's discuss about the protein preparation. Here is our target protein, which is called 10KE, which is the envelope protein of DENV2. It will be cleaned using Pymol to remove its N-octyl beta D-glucoside and natural ligands. Next. After the protein preparation, we move on to the ligand preparation. We'll be using mole inspiration to predict the molecular properties of each ligand. This includes the log-P, polar surface area, number of hydrogen bond donors or acceptors, as well as its bioactivity score. We'll also be implementing Lipinski's rule of 5 to screen the ligands. The ligands that violated more than one rule will be eliminated from the study. Next. To elaborate more on Lipinski's rule of 5, the ligand should not have more than 5 hydrogen bond donors, not more than 10 hydrogen bond acceptors. Its molecular weight should be less than 500, and its C log P should be not greater than 5. Next. Here are the 54 ligand candidates that will be further selected for our study. Next.
For the QSAR analysis, we use Way2DrugPass server. It used for screening the ability of the ligand to bind with the targeted protein as well as their bioactivity. Bioactivity of the ligands are expected to have general antiviral properties or inhibition towards DNV entry. After QSAR analysis, molecular docking, in molecular docking we use PYRX. It used for determine how the qualified ligands and the protein fit together. Ligands with negative binding affinity will be used for further analysis. For docking validation, natural ligands will be used as a positive control. After molecular docking, ADME in ADME process will use a pre-admit server. For qualified ligands will be uploaded to pre-admit. The ligand should have high absorption in human intestine, weak plasma protein binding, negative result of MS test, and no carcinogenicity. Pre-admit used for in silico prediction on how the drugs are being absorbed, how it is distributed in the body, and metabolized and excreted out. Pre-admit used for prediction of the toxicity of the drugs. And the last is molecular dynamics. We use CAPS-FLAX2. It is used to predict the movement of every atom in the protein over time to capture changes in conformation, ligand binding, and folding of the protein. And it allows prediction of protein flexibility through the root mean squares fluctuation. This is our reference. Thank you.